My 19-year-old assistant. Okay.
ASU student.
Okay.
All right, good.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and start
Okay.
because it's live.
Well, my name is Ariel Gonzalez. You already had a chance to meet my wife. I'm the president of Orion Financial. And one of the things that we really enjoy doing is the educational part of estate planning, because estate planning, it's one of those things where you kind of know bits and pieces about. There's enough online to be dangerous. It's kind of like WebMD. When somebody's ill, you go to WebMD and you can pick up a few things, and then there's probably like 5 different, right? But it's probably better if you just go to the doctor. And so that's kind of how estate planning is right now. There's enough information online where you can kind of get bits and pieces of it, and you can probably go to Office Depot and there's a do-it-yourself kit you could probably do for like $150, but it's do-it-yourself. And I don't know. Like when it comes to something like this, I don't know if I want to do it myself. You know what I mean? So that's one of the reasons why, like here at Orion Financial, like we just really love showing our friends and our family how to put these things together, how to make it work, and why it's needed. So, like I said, the number one thing I want you guys to do today is feel free to ask questions, and hopefully it clears up a lot of the fog when it comes to estate planning. Okay. So this is our local office here. My wife and I, we've got a few different offices, but we fly back and forth between our Tempe, Arizona office and our office here. Every 6 weeks we are down here. But Randall and a lot of they run the office here. They're local advisors here, and so they run the office here, and so they're here 24/7. These are the other parts of the team, and they're out in the field right now. And so what brings you here is estate planning, right? Understanding your estate planning essentials, learning strategies to avoid probate. Have you guys ever had to deal with probate, or know anybody that had to deal with probate? Okay, so you guys know it's not fun, right? And usually what the case is we usually either we're going through it or we know somebody that has gone through it. That's usually what happens. Keeping family and assets protected, right? That's usually what brings somebody to the attention when it comes around estate planning. So, what is estate planning? Well, one is it organizes assets and affairs. It gets things organized, and what I like to say is it's almost like another entity within a family. It's a place where everything is housed now. It's outside of him or her. It's a separate entity that lives on after you. Okay, ensures your wishes are fulfilled. Manages preservation, administration, and distribution of assets. That way, there's no he said, she said, what if, dad said this, mom said that, was given this, told this. Everything and all your wishes, how you want it to be done, is already laid out and prepared for whoever the next person is. Right? Everything is completed, everything's done. So who is estate planning for? Let me ask you guys a question. What brings you guys to the table when it comes to estate planning? Why are you guys here?
Just to plan for our future. We just lost our oldest child, so we're going through probate and we just want to make sure that when we pass that, our children get the things that we've worked hard for.
Okay.
Yes, sir. For your taxes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Keep Uncle Sam out of the picture as much as possible. Yes. So who is estate planning for? Blended families. That it's very common nowadays. Blended families, right? Husband and wife, previous marriages, previous kids. They got kids together. Minor children with special needs or disabled adults, if they're getting a benefit from the government or the state at all, and somehow they get an inheritance, those benefits all of a sudden go away. A lot of times we don't know that. What it does is it kind of shields them, and even though they will still have access to it, it's technically not theirs. So the benefits will continue. Okay. Those with specific health or end of life wishes, individuals with assets in other states, states, whenever you have trusts or trust and estate plans, the rules and the laws change from state to state. Okay, so if he is going to retire in another state, Cool part is when you get a estate plan done with us, we can always help you amend it. It doesn't matter where you live, where you travel. We will always make sure to bug you at least once a year to make sure we stay up to date. Okay? Homeowners or rental property owners, business owners, if you have one that own a business and you want to transfer it or you want to just have your kids sell it, whatever it is, making sure that's in there. Individuals seeking to avoid family conflicts, that's a huge one, unfortunately. I've been in the industry for 20 years, and it doesn't take much. It doesn't take much. And a lot of times, me and my brothers and sisters were solid, we're good. Things change really fast, really fast. Those wanting to minimize taxes and legal fees, that is huge. I don't think people understand the fees that go along with probate and just the time and energy and effort that it takes to go through that process. So the key components of an estate plan, this is where I really love to dive in and figure out like, okay, what is actually an estate plan? What is inside of it? What does that look like? What are the pieces of it? Right? If I'm going to put together a salad, what's in the salad? Okay. Well, number one's a will, a legal document outlining your wishes. So here's what I mean by there's a lot of stuff online today that it gives us just enough information to be dangerous. A lot of us, if you go online and you read certain things, there's some information out there that will tell you a will is enough. Okay. Just remember this rule of thumb: a will is simply a wish on paper. It will be taken into consideration by the judge, but it's not binding. It's not something that the judge, it's not ironclad, it's not solid. It'll be considered. Okay, it'll be considered, but it's not a plan. Number two is trust, a legal arrangement, that's the difference, right? Arrangement where your trustee manages your assets. So when my wife and I did our estate plan, and this is just kind of funny. I have one of my sons that is more business minded, one of my sons that is more compassionate. So we were like, when it comes to, making a decision whether to pull the plug or not for my wife and I'm like, I probably want the more compassionate son, right? The other one's probably going to be like, I think the PG&E's probably spinning a little too fast. Just go ahead and pull it now, right? So for us, for our trustee, we actually have them both. You can do a single person or you can have a committee. We choose to have one of my sons that's more compassionate, the other one that's a little more business savvy. Okay? Helps us avoid probate, keeps Uncle Sam, everybody else outside of the picture as much as possible. And as I get towards the end, I'm going to let you guys know how, whether you have an estate plan or not, you do have an estate plan. It's either yours or the state's. Mm-hmm. Everybody has one. It's either yours or the state's. Okay? Reduce estate taxes and protect your assets. Power of attorney. I didn't know this. My wife and I right now, we got 3 kids in college. We were married for 27 years. We have 4 kiddos. 3 of them are in college right now. My daughter married this year, moved to South Carolina with her husband, broke my heart, hurt, but anyways, another story. But power of attorney. I didn't realize it once my boys turned 18 and they needed my son needed a emergency appendectomy, and my wife was there with them, and she could not make any decisions for him because he needed a power of attorney, even though she's like, that's my son. And he's like, that's my mom. Well, let's get this done, right? Healthcare proxy, medical power of attorney provides legal authority to an individual to interact with the healthcare. That's what I was just talking about. Utilize when you are unable or unavailable to represent yourself. A living will or advanced healthcare directive is a legal document that spells out your wishes for medical care. Again, when you are unable or unavailable to make decisions for yourself, it's already done for you. Beneficiary designations is number 6. There's another legal document. It's a legal document that specifies who receives certain assets. Now, here's the thing. Life insurance is up there, and you are able to make an estate a contingent beneficiary on your life insurance. But at the end of the day, who you have as your first beneficiary is always going to be how it's going to pay out. Okay, so life insurance, retirement accounts, we like to make sure that when we work with our clients, that all your beneficiaries are up to date. Because a lot of us, when we started working for X number of company, let's just say you worked for a company for 20 years, maybe you started off and you were single, so you put mom, you put dad, you put right as your emergency contact, as your beneficiary. Well, now you've been married for a while, you've got your family, things change, and they still have mom and dad. And that happens all the time. Bank accounts, home and rental properties, you like to make sure that your estate plan, whoever the trustee is in your estate plan has access to different accounts and different things, all of it's tied together. Because really what it is, your estate plan, if you're no longer here, they should be able to pick up your estate plan, open it up, and know where everything is at, how everything is worked, how everything works, how everything is supposed to be put together, and how to go find everything and how it's supposed to be dispersed. It's all right here, done. Guesswork there is none. Guardianship for minor children, special needs adult. I kind of touched on this earlier. Legal name for children, dependents, ensuring care for education, housing, and welfare. If you got little kiddos, you need to make sure who's going to take care of who. Asset protection, right? Strategies to shield wealth from creditors, lawsuits, taxes, probate. Number 9 is a pour over will. Acts as a safety net for assets that have not yet been transferred. So what I've just covered really quickly is all the different components of what is inside of an estate plan. That's the reason why is you can go do it yourself. You can do these little things that you can do to cut corners, but the problem is it doesn't do it as thorough. And documents as important as this, you want it done right. You want to make sure it's done correctly. Okay, because it's important. So who is this for? Right? Why estate planning? What brings you here, right? A lot of us just haven't gotten around to it. And that's the number one reason, right? We do on average between 30 to 40 estate plans a month. And that's by far, it's actually probably more than that. They just haven't gotten around to it. Life, just life. Things happen. When your kids are younger, it's sports, it's this, it's that, and it's busy. Just haven't gotten around to it. Don't have enough assets. That's another one. A lot of people feel you got to be wealthy in order to have an estate plan. And honestly, growing up, that's kind of what I thought. It was just for a certain group of people, and normal people like me don't need it. Right? Too young, don't know how, too expensive, no one to leave the assets to, maybe too much debt. At the end of the day, everybody's got a certain reason why they haven't gotten one, but when you really start to understand what an estate plan is and how it works, you start to realize pretty much everybody needs one. So check this out. I had no idea my wife actually put this information together, and because we all know these people, and we just assume that if you're these people, you have your stuff in order. Like you got the highest powered attorneys, like you're dialed in. Well, check this out. Let's talk about Aretha Franklin. She died in 2018. She has an estate worth $80 million. It was settled in 2023. So what is that? Probate for 5 years. It's now worth $6 million due to legal fees, unpaid taxes, and administrative costs. Aretha Franklin. I mean, if she's worth $80 million, I would assume she would have hired a pretty good attorney. Even if she paid the attorney $2, $3, $4, $5 million, it still would have saved her a lot of money. Right? So when I see these numbers, I'm like, talk about Michael Jackson. Everybody, I mean, you can go, Michael Jackson, like, it's just, his stuff is weird. It's wild. Passed away in 2009. $2 billion is his estimated net worth. His estate has not yet been settled. Due to legal fees and family, Families fighting right now. They're trying to fight for everything. Disputes, and the IRS still can't put a number on the value of his estate, so it's still not set. And it's, if you go to Vegas, it still shows of Michael Jackson, so nobody really knows the value. So this guy has been passed away since 2009. His money is tied up, but you better believe they're charging him fees, right? And it's Michael Jackson, and yet no trust him. Crazy. Prince passed away in 2016. Estimated net worth 156.4 million. Settled in 2022. Right. So what is that? 8 years, 6 years, something like that. 6 half siblings named legal heirs to an estate and divided it accordingly. So what happened was, as they were going through the probate process, 6 half siblings came out and said, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa! He was my half brother. I need to get my piece." And that happens a lot. We were just talking about my wife. She knew somebody, she's years in the 90s, that actually won the lottery. And in the 90s, when the lottery, a few $1 million, like $1 million is a lot of money. In the 90s, right? And how everybody came out of the woodwork. Cousins, aunts, uncles that she'd seen in years, but hey, you won the lottery. Right? Same thing. So whether you think you don't, we were just talking about this. Whether you think you do or you don't, everyone has an estate. Let's talk about when the state decides. What happens? Well, you got probate court. Simple estates are going to be 6 to 12 months. She was just talking to a gentleman yesterday. She was on the phone with him for like 40 minutes, and he's going through some stuff right now. And he's like, "Yeah, I qualified for a simple estate, but it's still almost half a year to a year." Okay. Moderate estates, 12 to 18 months. Complex stuff is going to be 1 to 3 years to, I just showed you guys, I don't know. Who knows, right? Probate fees. 3 to 8% of the value of your estate. Average cost of probate fees after everything is said and done, they've nickel and dimed you to death, it's going to be between $15K to $35K. Court filings, attorney fees, executor fees, and appraisal fees. So dying is expensive. Family disputes, I don't even have to go into this. It's not good. Number 4, loved ones in limbo. This is where it gets really bad. We've seen this, unfortunately, up close and personal, and when families are scrounging around. Did you guys know that it's close to 2% of all life insurance policies actually get paid out? Yeah, I've been in the industry for almost 20 years.
Just not know.
Yeah.
They don't know that you're paying for them. Nobody has an estate plan. So what they do is they go through your bank records and they may trigger something that says Farmers or National Life Group right? Nobody knows. And Eli was telling me just recently they came out with this directory now finally where you can go in there and start doing research to see if my dad had life insurance because billions of dollars are going to claim. Yeah. And then not only that, like if you buy a 10-year term, like I have term policy, I have permanent, and I have term life insurance. And I have term because I know God willing, I'm going to live past my term. But I have it because if something happens to me, my wife and my boys are still going to school. It's just extra coverage, right? But chances are I'm going to outlive it, and I don't get nothing for it. So the insurance company wins, right? So that doesn't pay out. So really, it's a little bit less than 2% of all life insurance policies ever pay out. But a big part of it is this. Nobody knows that somebody had life insurance. So this right here is just like, that's enough for me to say you need an estate plan. Anybody, like I don't care who you are, like you need to get something done. Because if not, this is what's going to happen. So when you decide to finally get it done, the heart of estate planning, and honestly, what it is, it's just love for your kids, your family, whoever it is. That's really what it comes down to. Clear picture in place, ease the burden, focus on supporting one another, avoid room, and a peace of mind is actually the big deal right there. When the number one thing, when we take care of our clients and we sit down with them, and what's going to happen is we're going to gather all your information, all your wishes. We're going to properly fund it, execute it, notarize it. And what I mean by fund it is your assets are going to be retitled, your home is going to be retitled, your retirement accounts, everything you have is going to be in your estate plan. Okay. When you walk out of the door and you have your binder with you, and all your wishes, everything you want is in your hands, you're going to be like, it's no longer, it's here. And that peace of mind that you have, when we see our clients leave with that peace of mind, it's worth everything. That's the reason why we're in business. So once you have an estate plan set up, done, it's important to keep it up to date. You switch jobs, you sell homes, maybe you buy a home, whatever it is, life happens, right? You need to keep it up to date because a lot of times we'll come in again, we'll meet with the client, and they're like, you know what, Errol, I have an estate plan set up. Sweet. I'm glad you see value in it. When was the last time you looked at it? I did it like 15 years ago. Okay, so have you looked at it since then? No. Has life happened since then? Yes. Tell me about it. I'm divorced now. Okay? That's huge. You should really look at it. So just certain things like that, it's probably good to keep your estate plan updated. And so that's one of the things that we do here is we're going to bug you at least once a month.
Once a year.
I'll bug you once a month if you want me to. We'll bug you at least once a year to make sure that we keep your estate plan up to date. Because life happens and you're going to be busy, but that's our job is to say, hey, a year's up. Let's get back together, even if it's via Zoom, and make sure that we can go through this thing again and make sure everything is where it needs to be. Okay. So this is where you guys take over. And this is where I can bring Randall and Eli. That way you guys get a chance to meet them as well. So they are the local ones here at the office. You're the good looking guys. Randall's actually about to, he's got 2 little girls. And he's about, his wife right now is like, she's about to explode. No.
Boy.
Finally. I was like, bro, you gotta keep rolling the dice. So this is where questions come in, and we want you guys. So I know you had some questions. So
And there's 6 online.
and there's 6. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
You retitle your bank accounts to the estate,
Yes,
and then how do we access money when we want
it's still gonna work as normal. Once you go to the bank and you tell them that you want to retitle your bank account to the trust, they're gonna ask you, do you want like, for example, if you want to order checks, do you want the check to be the name, to appear the name of the trust or your name? But everything else remains the same. Most of the time, the same, account number, same debit card, same, everything still remains the same. You can still go in and go to the ATM, punch in your PIN number and take money out.
Essentially, Jason, all you're doing initially is adding a POD, a payable upon death. You're adding the trust as the payee when something were to happen. So both of you guys would be each other's, but then if both parties are no longer with us, then the trust would be the payable upon death. And then if you do decide that is the option where Ladia was saying is you want to create an estate of an account, you can create a separate account and have it as a trust. You guys are the grantors, the trustees. You guys are the managers because you're still alive. You can control it as
Yeah,
such.
it's the same. You,
As same.
they,
Yep.
you don't even get a new debit card.
Mhm.
it? Okay. And so, absolutely, if we have somebody in the bank, some amount of money in the bank, and we pass, and our children are the
Trustees
Trustees.
or the beneficiaries.
do they, or will they be immediately taxed for that money?
No, that money's already been taxed. The only money would be considered taxable is qualified accounts. such as retirement accounts,
Your IRAs or 401k.
IRAs, 401ks, that's still qualified. Uncle Sam still wants his cut.
And this is, so,
Yeah.
you know, we're fairly bright people and it'll take us a little while,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
Just.
So yeah, Uncle Sam, basically, I was just helping a client yesterday. His father passed away last year, and so he's assuming all this, and he's a probator, unfortunately. So when you inherited an IRA or 401k, you're inheriting it. So your children will inherit it. They have to 10 years to take distributions. So they can put it in there and then kick can down the road because they put it into an inherited IRA. And then at 10 years, Uncle Sam says you have to take distributions. So then they will be required to take a percentage each year and pay taxes on that money.
I've assumed the money in your checking account at some point has already been taxed.
Correct.
Okay, so then I'm gonna kind of do that question, and my mom passed away last year. My stepdad does not want to deal with lawyers or just that, so they quit, what is it called, quit claim?
Quick claim? Mhm.
Okay, so they did that with a house before my mom passed away, which was a nightmare dealing with it because it, you know.
Yeah.
So he had 2 homes, so he's done that, but he now wants to put my name on account and then have me distribute it to my siblings, and I'm like, I don't want that.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be taxed on it, right?
So on he's putting you as POD, like you're the payee. So any retirement accounts, yeah, you would be the one to assume it. So
And so like, I know a gift tax or a gift, you can only give like.
Correct.
Like each account.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, I wouldn't be able to distribute that, right? Like, and his accounts, he was quite a bit.
He would need an estate
He would
plan.
own the state
Yeah.
plan.
yeah,
So,
Yeah.
he
And
needs to-
Otherwise, you're assuming a lot of
and he
responsibility,
is
a lot of risk.
thinking that he is going to, by putting my name, I'm on one account. He thinks he's gonna avoid probate by doing this, and so part of me coming to this is for our personal
Selves.
stuff, but also so I can go to him because he's 89 and I'm wanting to like hopefully get him on board.
Yeah.
Because I don't want this.
Yeah, that
I
could
just
get
not
really
feel like
messy
that.
really fast.
And then he, whispered something in front of my brother, and my brother's like, "What's going on?" And I mean, and I'm like honest to a fault, so I'm like, I'm not involved in anything there.
Let's just say your dad adds you to the title of the house, then at that point too, your brother's sibling
Mhm.
can take you to court.
Yeah. Well, he's added all of it on the houses, and but on the bank, he has some large bank accounts. I'm on one of them because I was paying. I have caretakers. My mom was at my house. I was taking care of her. So I'm still on that account. Now he said some things about all this stuff, and he's like, I'm going to add you to all the accounts, and then you can make sure. And he's going to put me on both the cars, and then I'm just going.
It's just that's going to lead to a big dispute among
It is.
all your
And then
siblings.
also but
Yeah. It's going to be a mess.
I think he cares about that, but what is driving him to do it this way is he's thinking that he's going to avoid.
For probate, it won't.
So it won't.
No.
This is great information I go to him because I want him to do something like this.
When you guys next one of these, we're gonna be clients, but I'd like to bring him back too.
Yeah.
Do you think he would?
Do it once a month.
We can do it next month and you
I think
we
we're
can
gonna.
Yeah, we do once a month, but we can do one-on-one.
Yeah, for sure.
Way easier.
And I think he doesn't get out much.
Yeah.
And he doesn't, there is a little dementia, but he
Still of sound mind.
Yes,
and can
he
make
still
it
is sound mind, but you know what I mean? He's a little,
He's
selfish.
Yeah.
shrinking,
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's out of here.
Yeah.
So when a person passes and we go through the probate, but all the,
Mhm.
they advertise for.
4 months.
Credits
Here in Kern County,
Or-
they will do it publicly.
debts.
4 months. Yes, for debts.
And not that we're trying to avoid any debts,
Mhm.
or we don't have anybody suing us at this.
Yeah.
point.
Yeah. Right, not confident.
Keep that, safe.
Still, I mean, your creditors are your creditors.
Correct.
That come after the
Yes.
estate anyway.
Yes.
We're in kind of a unique situation, we don't really have any,
Mhm.
but whatever that has to do with it.
Yeah.
There's
So it's
still-
usually
still
like
have to be
maybe
a-
like car loans or credit cards, things like that, because it's notified publicly, right? They put it out on the public record and then it's notified for 4 months. And then at that point, they're giving you a probate date court where you make your claim, right? And then next of kin, whoever wants to like, hey, Jason loaned me $10,000 or he said he was going to give me $10,000 and I have this, letter and, that's where they have to prove.
And so the same phenomenon in the trust, they're gonna advertise over a certain amount of time.
No, actually, it avoids all that.
Avoid them.
Mhm,
You cut to the finish line. You pass go, collect $200.
mhm.
So.
Yes.
Yes.
You got to remember it's an entity that looks beyond you.
So it doesn't have an expiration date like we do.
So I have a question, and I'm probably going a different direction than yours, because as I'm gonna be trying to get my stepdad on board here. When you do the trust, is it the same cost for each person that you do the trust for, or does that vary by person?
Yeah, it's 1995.
Yeah,
Do it the
it's
same
just
for
the one,
everybody.
whether it's a single or
And so
two.
what is the cost?
1995. Yeah, it's the same for everybody.
Mhm.
His estate isn't any more complicated.
I don't think it's more complicated.
We've had
but-
clients that have numerous homes.
No.
I mean, if there's like offshore bank accounts in Switzerland, then we'll refer them out.
I am from Oildale.
Okay.
So, yeah, so, okay, so because I think that in his brain, he thinks that he's gone through probate like probably 30 years ago with my grandpa. And I think he thinks that he can avoid all this by putting me on there. And we've just gone through a pretty substantial, our son, I wish I would have known all of this stuff, but our son, we had to get conservatorship of him.
Yeah.
And he passed away in February.
So sorry for your loss, Tracy.
And so with his home and his stuff, we're in probate right
Yeah,
now. It's just, I mean, I just can't wait till it's over because
Yeah.
it's just more and,
It's just, auction.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
Does it give you
essentially what
that
you're doing,
time?
you're having to prove everything and
they
then,
call 30 days later.
yes,
We only gave you that.
Yes.
Cool, you go to it.
yes. And that's why this 12 to 18 months process,
And I
even if
feel-
it's a small estate.
And I feel lucky because we were, we just gotten financial conservatorship. They've been brought on his account and stuff. And for a young man, he had,
Mhm.
he's establishing himself pretty well.
Yeah,
And so we already have lawyers that we trust and everything that then have taken over and they've been wonderful, but it's a process.
Yeah.
And I think ours will be quicker than most, but it's still, and I don't want to do and
Yeah.
I don't want my kids to have to, because my kids are getting all of the probate stuff
mhm.
and they're already dealing with the death of their brother. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
hard.
sometimes people, when you talk to people, they try to downplay probate like it's not that big of a deal. And I'm like, I don't think you've ever been through probate.
yeah. And the more you have, the more intense it is.
Yeah.
And, so.
I think, I want to go back to some of the things, but I think we have witnessed, you guys are familiar with the term OG?
Mhm. I think.
Notice the death of power or something, and people just kept spending grandma's money.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I believe.
So,
That's very.
thanks, that might happen. Just people,
Yeah.
just people.
Uh-oh.
Sometimes,
Yeah.
maybe they don't follow that, it's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it takes generally 6 to 8 weeks to get even a death certificate, right? So there's no notification, like Social Security is not notified that checks stopped, right? So they'll come back after, they'll retro that money back.
Be somehow.
Yes.
Spend their money somehow.
Yeah.
between now and then.
Usually through the mortuary, it's notified. If you have a good mortuary, they usually notify the state that there is in fact, somebody that passed. But if the family doesn't have money to bury you,
Yeah.
there's no services yet, right? So there's a lot of people that are still kind of in the ice chest waiting for family to, there's times. There's usually 30 to 60 days that they wait before they come over to the
Tracy's
state.
grandmother, that's who I was talking about.
Wow.
I said, some people, his grandmother.
This is live.
She allegedly had a will.
That me and Dale were supposed to.
And we have never brought it up to you, we don't want to say.
No.
But she allegedly had a will that named Tracy as some kind of executor.
Angel.
I haven't gone to all of them to see if it's real or not.
Yeah.
But the two aunts that were on the bank account is matched.
Yeah.
When it's over.
Yeah.
And you,
Not that we wanted anything,
No.
it's just that's how.
I don't even think about it. Because
Yeah.
they're
Very
like-
common.
like-
It is very common. I mean, we've had a client, family call, well, I did her trust. And this happened. The father passed away literally within hours. His two sons were ransacking dad's stuff
Writing themselves checks.
and writing themselves. Yeah. And you can't do it, you can go to the police station and file, that, but I mean, it was within hours that he had just passed, so they
I
were.
think he's doing this.
Okay.
You're talking about. Let's move it off.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to get back to this, so, because, this is like less than what I thought we were gonna be paying today. So this takes care of, because looking at and for us too, we're gonna need to, but like, I think he has like an idea, like he's basically so like, I'm not going to doctor anymore, he thinks Kaiser killed my mom,
Aw.
she cancer, so,
Yeah.
like so that will take care of his, like,
Health directives.
Yeah.
Yeah,
all that.
Everything that I showed you today,
Okay.
everything is, yeah.
Okay, and
Yeah.
you guys will walk us through all of
Yes.
that?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes, that's the service that we provide.
We will mail the letters of retirement letters on your behalf or his
Okay.
behalf to those
Okay,
lo-
because
companies.
he's just not
Yeah.
able to do that.
Yeah,
And
that's-
honestly, I'm so worn out.
That's why we do so many and we get so many referrals. I mean, cause you guys can go, you can throw a rock and there's a lot of people you guys can go to.
Yeah.
It's the service behind it and the retitlement of the assets. Cause attorneys will draft them for you, but you gotta go do the retitlement.
Yeah,
You gotta go do the funding
and they're very.
and you're gonna pay more.
And they're okay. And every time you communicate, they're charging you a fee to communicate, even if it's email. So.
Well, and I had thought about like just using the lawyer meeting, and then I remembered, like, wait a minute, I was going to come and see you guys, before my son got sick, we were starting to gather and Dell gave me this, so that's why I texted Dell.
Yeah.
So we are a year ago, right?
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so, and then, so I don't know how we do this, like, we want
Well,
to
she
sign
can
up.
help you.
Yeah.
And then.
She's the boss.
She's the CEO.
She's the CEO.
She makes the rules.
Yeah, and I mean, your stepdad, it's totally up to him. I mean, we've gone to, hospitals and actually done.
So one of our
done
business partners, Josh, he's 40, he's a little over 40, he's 40, how old is Josh now?
I gotta throw his name out.
Story. Josh has a great story. So, Josh is a great guy, but he's my business partner, amazing family, amazing wife, beautiful kiddos, just a great family. Love this. My wife and I love hanging out with him, and he's just a blessing to have as a business partner, right? Just one of those guys. Like you just want to just enjoy to be around. We challenge each other in business. We challenge each other in everything we do. And how he came to be as a business partner was at 40 years old, he actually needed a heart transplant. Yeah. Right? At 40, who needs a heart transplant? And this guy worked out like 400 days a year. There's not even 400 days, right? And he needed a heart transplant. My wife, and he was a business owner, successful, right, in his own right. My wife was in his hospital room banging out his estate plan to making sure that his wife and his kiddos were going to be taken care of in case something happened to Josh. Because they're about to take him in to do surgery. And so when he came out, thank God everything was good. He's like, you know what? I feel like I need to do something that has more meaning to what I want to get out of life. And so that's how we decided to join and be business partners. Yeah, phenomenal guy, great story, but that's how we decided. Like at this point, we were just really good friends, but that's how we decided to be business partners as well.
Not to but the first time my son, second time he was in the hospital, we thought he was gonna lose him, and I thought, oh my God, his house and everything, and I called a friend of ours who's in finance, and she said, I think we signed it up. Not aware, so Gary can't do that,
Yeah.
it has to.
It has to be
I
fully
sure would
funded.
think in my, and, the unthinkable happened, and here we are, produce
Yeah.
with his, cause we all work so hard for
Yeah,
what we
right.
have,
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
just to
Yeah.
like see, so much money to go to lawyers and.
Yeah.
He was only 31.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
that's kind of what triggered. Well, no, Josh didn't. He
No.
got COVID.
He
though.
had myocarditis.
Yeah.
Our son had cancer, right before COVID, and then, he was fine. And then a year later, went for the PET scan, it was right after he had that shot. We can't prove it.
Yeah.
But started gaining weight, which he'd never had a weight problem, just acting a little off.
It just is.
But what happened was, a cell left back from the cancer, went up and attacked his brain, it was autoimmune. He had limbic encephalitis. So he went from being like a salesman,
Yeah.
like he was very successful, very charismatic, to not even knowing what day it was. And so we cared for him for 3 years. So many other deaths, just couldn't walk, couldn't swallow.
Yeah. And then you guys went through the conservatorship.
Yeah, so we did the concern, we tried to go through, and this is why, I'm like, let's go to professionals, we tried to do that, We the People.
Yes.
Which was a joke.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's what I'm a special ed teacher at Liberty High School. This is who we tell, to go to,
I think they could do some things all right, but what we were trying to do was.
Yeah.
It depends on the situation.
yeah. Lawyer to get financial conservatorship, and they had just finished that, but they didn't put his house in the conservatorship, so. And I don't know if they could, they may not have been able.
And that's what we find. Even my uncle's worth millions, and he's in a blended family. And I've been bugging him. I'm like, Uncle, you need to have an estate plan done, because if you don't want to do it through me, it's fine.
Yeah.
I get it, but please get it done. So we had a family reunion last month, and I was like, hey, are you going to do it? He says yes. So we agreed we're going to go do it. So I just followed up. Hey, did the attorney? He's like, well, we're just debating on the house right now on what the process. I was like, yeah, that's the thing, because he feels like he paid for it. It's his son should get it, but his wife and her kids, and and so it's a hard thing. And so I said, are they gonna refund your stuff? And he says, well, no, it's a DIY. I was like, well, let me send you the templates. If you need help with it, let me know. I will help you. Yeah. So he paid thousands of dollars, and it's not done.
No, and we're just.
Yeah.
Just.
Yeah.
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 About, changes in assets.
Yes.
That was a term I never heard. Well.
Oh, pour over well.
Or.
Yes. So what happens is that if those assets, like you're exactly what you just went through with the conservatorship, they didn't add the house. So yes, it's very similar to that. The trust is established, assets are transferred, but let's just say you bought a house and it's in Arizona and you guys forgot to retitle it. It does have to go through probate process, but it's much faster because the trust is already established. So because it's not retitled, it's still in your individual name.
Okay.
So that's where it still allows the foundation there. We still have to prove that yes, you've already established yourself. So it just allows a
It's
safety
just more
net.
like a streamlined,
Yeah.
faster.
Process of probate.
Beneficiaries already have it.
Anything overlooked.
Yes,
With the
yes, yes,
You can end it now, maybe.
yeah, yeah.
Before we get on to questions.
Yeah, everybody, yeah.
Well, just help them open up their portal and activate it, honey.
Yeah.
That way we can start the process with them and then walk them through the process.
Yeah.